Hello there, my name is Asleon, and today I will be telling you about how I built my Cyno. I am on the wrong character. Anyway, Cyno's got 17,070 HP, 1,566 attack, 979 defense, 336 EM, 80 over 126 crit rate crit damage. He's missing a crit damage circlet. I just don't have it on his set yet. I will once I haven't actually come back. I built Cyno a long time ago. I haven't come back to building him yet. But once I do come back to building him, I am getting him a crit damage circlet because he kind of needs it. He does not need this much crit rate. I can take the hit to the crit rate and get like some more crit damage. It'd be great. 140 ER and oh, there it is. I somehow missed the electric damage bonus. I was like, what is going on? He should have his artifacts. And 61 electric damage bonus. Now, weapon-wise, I have him on the Primordial Jade Wing Spear, so Zhao's signature weapon. Now, once I get a Zhao, because I will be getting a Zhao, Zhao is getting his weapon, and Cyno is going to have to go to a different weapon. But for now, this is my best in slot for him. And if I do get Cyno's weapon, I mean, Cyno's clearly going to be on it, which his weapon should be his best in slot. Now, I will say other options are Cyno's actually really, really good weapon-wise, because he will use this event weapon, the Tayama Yorite no Ohanashi. No idea if I said that right. It's pretty good. The ER is nice because you do want his ult up. It gives an attack increase, a really nice attack increase, and a movement speed when using your ultimate skill, which he does use quite often. Now, I do like the Inazuma Craftable Spear and the Sumerian Craftable Spear for him. The Sumerian Craftable Spear gives him additional EM, and it also will spawn a Leaf of Revival when triggering Aggravate, Hyper Bloom, both things quicken, things that heal trigger a lot, because you typically run him with a Dendro character. That is probably his best team, is him, Nahida. Actually, I'll go over teams later. And then when you pick up the leaf, it'll give a 32% attack to the character. Only one leaf can generate this way every 20 seconds. While the Inazuma Spear gives the same amount of EM boats, but the elemental skill damage is increased, and when the elemental skill hits an opponent, it helps with energy regeneration, which is nice. Now, the Prospector's Drill is also not a bad one with the attack percent, and then most likely you're going to have a healer on his team, and so his HP will be going up and down. You also have another craftable, the Prototype Star Glitter, with, again, ER. I personally prefer attack percent or EM for him, but ER is not that bad given he does want his ult up a lot. And then again, this is using after using skill, increases his normal and charge attack damage by 8%, which, after doing a closer inspection of his kit, which I did after I went and noted all of the weapons, it seems like normal attack damage bonuses are less, because it seems like the attacks he does during his ult are actually based off his ult's damage, not his normal attack damage. Confusing thing, because he has a whole set of additional boosts in his ult. I could be wrong about that, though, and leveling his normal attack does help a lot. Because that's what I thought for the longest of times, and then I read over his kit and was like, which way is it? Is it off of his ult or is it off of his base? I think it's off of his ult because it has multipliers in his ult. I'll show you that when we get to the talents. Now, the White Tassel is honestly just a good 3-star option for any DPS if you don't have a good 4-star option. It gives crit rate. And then, again, normal attack damage. I don't know if this would actually increase his thing, because I don't know if his attack count as normal attack damage or ultimate damage. And then the Halberd isn't bad either. It gives attack, and then when normal attack deals an additional 3. Normal attacks deal an additional 320% attack as damage. This effect can occur once every 10 seconds. Again, that all depends on how they're counting things, depending on how good that would be. Now, artifact-wise, frankly, Out of all of them, I'd say, yeah, the three that they recommend are really good. Thundering Fury, Gilded Dreams, Gladiator. Gladiator, he's just getting attack bonus, and then, again, I think this is going to boost his damage, because he technically is using his normal attack, but it seems like it might multiply off the ult. I don't know. Um, Thundering Fury just boosts his electro damage, increases, well, electro-related, um, reactions. Not all all electro-related reactions. Aggravate is increased by 20%, Superconduct, Electrocharge, Hyper Bloom by 40, along with Overload, and Quicken. When Quicken or the aforementioned Alistair actions are triggered, Elemental skill cooldown is increased by 1 second, which is nice. I do like using a skill often. And then this one you can just get a big EM bonus, and then if you put another electric character, you can get an attack bonus, which is really nice. Now, you want attack or EM for his goblet or stance. I keep saying the wrong one. For his stance, you want him to be on attack or an EM. Goblet is just electro damage bonus. And then for his circle, you want crit rate or crit damage. I really want mine on a crit damage, but I don't have an on piece actually. And I don't have a piece that I can put him on a goblet that's electro damage bonus, and I don't have a crit damage circlet, so he's a little lacking in the crit damage, but it's whatever. Now, as for substats, you want to prioritize crit rate, crit damage, attack, EM, and ER. I'd say crit damage are most important. I think honestly, I think it would depend on what EM, because I think EM, about 300 EM is about good for Cyno, so if you have about 300, I would prioritize attack over EM, but if you don't, I'd prioritize EM over attack. It really depends on the stats of your Cyno, which one you want to prioritize. And then I put ER last. He's pretty fine with that. Now, I am actually going to go over cons this time. His C1 just increases his normal attack speed, which, given that that does it, it probably does count as a normal attack, but I don't know if the multipliers off I'm not sure. I'll actually look over that. His C2 just gives him an electro damage bonus. C3 just levels up his ultimate. C4 honestly kind of turns him into a bit of a battery. When triggering a reaction, he actually gains ER for his teammates, which is really cool. C5 is his E gets some levels, and his C6 is that it was something along the lines of when his normal attack hits, every now and again it'll shoot off one of the electro shots that he can do when using his E in his alt state, and you can only do that in his alt state. Talent-wise, the way I did it, I think I prioritized his base, his alt, and then his E. That the way they have it recommended is his alt, his E, his base. And then again, you can see you have 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit on his alt. Charge attack damage. So this is typically the multipliers you see on your base, which you can see right here. So I'm like, I feel like he gets his multipliers off of his alt, but I don't know if it counts as, I would think it counts as alt damage and not normal attack damage, but he is technically using his normal attack. But it just says his normal charge and plunging attacks will be converted. So I don't know if you actually need to level your base, if that helps or not, because it does have multipliers here. Or I am very confused on how this works, and I don't think I'm going to be able to find a solution. So, which kind of sucks. Because I wish I did know. And well, I mean, I don't know. It could be that he gets multipliers from both. It could be that it's the multipliers from the alt, but it still counts as a normal attack. So, like, things that buff normal attack damage would still buff it. I'm not sure, and I really don't feel like experimenting on that right now, so I'm not. But if I do experiment on it, I'll let you know. Or if you know, let me know. Anyway, that's it for in there. Team-wise, I currently run him in this team because I want to run Auron. So I have Cyno, Xingqiu, Auron, and Kazuha for a Electrocharge team. Now, I do think one of his best teams is probably him, Nahida. I'm trying to think who else. Like, him, a couple of Dendro units, and then, like, a healer. So like maybe like Nahida, honestly him, Nahida, maybe Eon-san, because I don't like using Bennett with Cyno as much, because Cyno does move around a lot, so he can be in and out of the circle. But you could put something like Bennett or Eon-san to buff his attack more, and then you could like throw a healer on like Kuki to help heal him up. Because with Nahida, you don't need so much Dendro application. Um, I'm trying to think. You could also throw Venti in his team if you want a bit more crowd control. Venti's really good at that. But Cyno, really, I would run him with a good gender support. Kale would also be good for that. Or Yao Yao. Yao, actually, you maybe a good team for him would be him, Nahida, Kuki, and Yao Yao. Giving him a couple of healers. Actually, no, like Eon-san or Bennett and Yao Yao. Giving him 2 gender applications, a buffer, and himself. Or, I always forget about Sarah because I don't actually actively use her. But Kujo Sara would actually be a really good buffer for him. So you could do Nahida, Sara, Yao Yao would actually probably be a really solid team for him. But basically, you can run him in just about any team you want. You can run any character in any team you want. That doesn't mean it's going to be good, but you can run basically any character in any team you want. I'm going a bit right here. His best team is probably a gender applicator, so Kale, Yao Yao, Nahida, anything like that. You can even throw Tighnari in there if you wanted. His application would be a lot lower than the others, but you could throw him on, have him use his E, have Cyno, and then I think Cyno's E, have Tighnari get the 3 charge shots off, swap to Cyno, and use his alt. Now, this would suck because there would barely be any reactions given the fact that Tighnari can't reapply while off field. I don't recommend running him with Tighnari. They're both DPSs who want on field time, but you can if you really wanted to. Besides that, like I said, his best is to run him with a Dendro character, but you could run him with just about any he wants. I like running him with elemental reactions. I guess you probably could do a lecture too. Probably like Eon-san, Kuki, him, and Sara. That would probably be a decently solid team. Eon-san, Kuki. Eon-san and Sara buffing him while Kuki heals. Anyway, I'll just run through scenarios there. I like running him this team because I want to run Auroron. That is the main reason for this. Because I used to run him actually with him, Xingqiu, Nahida, and Kuki in a slight Hyper Bloom team. But I don't run that as much anymore. I don't really care to. But let's get into the child fight, where we beat him up once again. Get out of the way. I'm gonna go ahead and apply Hydro. Use his ult, and then use Cyno's ult. I do wish he had a bit more crit damage, because that would be so nice. And then, let me see if I can get him to, oh, right here. So you see those electro shots that come off? That's what his C6 does. It allows his normal attack to shoot at one of those. At least from my understanding of the reading of it. If I'm wrong, correct me. I very well could be. Oh, wait, I should skip. I always forget I should skip the cutscene. It's halfway through, and I'm like, oh, wait, yeah, skip that. But yeah, this is just the team I like to run him with. Xingqiu's dying. Poor dude. And again, this is mostly because I wanted to run Auroron. No swap. I thought his E was back up. Oh, great. Everyone else has got their alts. Maybe I should... Oh, shoot, I didn't swap off him in time. I realized that was probably a poor idea. Anyway, we'll just finish him off like this. It should be fine. Don't die. Oh, come on. I almost got a Z in. Watch them all die. Where is... Okay, he's summoning the whale. Doron's dying. Let me actually real quick just feed everybody. I can use food right now. I probably want to put a healer in this. A better healer. Shinjo technically heals. As you can see, sometimes I have issues with characters dying, or I just am not good at dodging sometimes. That's not really on the characters and their strength. That's my own technical skills there. Dude. I can't even get a good hit on. Oh, where'd he go? Where'd... Well, that's fun. Kazuha, finish him off, please. Where'd he go? There he is. Thank you, dude. He kept disappearing on me. And then in the end, Cyno's dead. Don't mind that. Why did I keep losing him? I don't normally lose Ajax that easily. It didn't help. Actually, no, I'm kidding that. That they didn't have their ults up when we entered the second half. His first two phases died too quickly. And then his... Let me go heal up Cyno. And then I didn't get their ults up in time. Because they're honestly a pretty solid team. To be fair, I don't actually know if Auron's actually got his stuff right now. But that's beside the point. Anyway, that's how I built my Cyno. This probably isn't the best team I can run him with, but this is the team I like to run him with. Again, mostly because I want Auron. Maybe I might swap Kazuha for free. No, she would take too much HP. And it would put a healer on the team and I could heal with it, but I don't know. I'll figure out. His team's technically in the works. But that's how I built my Cyno. I hope you found this video informative. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like. And if you want to see more how I built, or I sometimes post videos of me talking about things. I'm trying to do that more often, but it's not being as often as I want. But whatever. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and may you have a blessed rest of your day.